Imagine discovering a plot hole so massive, it collapses the owner's entire universe. Let's dissect the scene that broke the internet. The story begins in 1990, when we meet three young men, one of them a gangster named Terry, and the others his friends. The trio is parked outside a large house owned by Dr. Huggins and his wife, watching and planning. The two elderly homeowners seem like easy targets, and the group decides to rob them. Terry's mother works in the Huggins household, so he often visits. During one visit, Carrie notices a large locker and becomes convinced it holds something valuable. His greed takes over, and he shares his discovery with his friends. They bring Terry into the plan because he's experienced in robbery. The job seems simple. After all, the Huggins couple goes out for dinner every Friday. That night, the three wait for them to leave. The car they're using doesn't belong to them. It's owned by Mary, a friend of Terry's friend. When Mary arrives to retrieve her car, Huggins and his wife are just leaving. She already knows about the robbery plan and pleads with her friend not to go through with it. But greed wins. He ignores her warning and enters the house with Terry and the gangster. Mary stays outside since her friend still has her car keys. Inside, the men start packing valuables and stumble upon a little girl's room, Huggins' daughter, who passed away years ago. The room has been preserved exactly as it was. They move to the basement and find the locker, but no matter how hard they try, they can't open it. Outside, Mary starts yelling that they're running out of time. Huggins will be home soon. Nervous, the gangster suggests they wait for Huggins to return so they can force him to reveal the code. The others agree. Mary's friend convinces her to come inside, hoping to avoid complications. But just as they're talking, Huggins and his wife arrive. Soon as they step in, the three men attack. Huggins and his wife assume Mary is part of the group. During the struggle, Mrs. Huggins is injured, and Mary tends to her. Huggins notices Mary's name written on her hand and recognizes her immediately. He knows everyone in town. He also identifies Terry, though the gangster remains a mystery to him. The men tie up Huggins and his wife and continue with their plan. When they take Huggins' credit card, Terry accidentally says the gangster's name out loud. Huggins overhears, realizing who's behind the robbery. When they ask him for the locker code, Huggins insists there's no locker in the house. To prove him wrong, they drag him to the basement and demand the code again. He refuses, calmly telling them to go home. Mary is horrified by the violence and tries to leave, but the gangster follows her outside. He catches her trying to call the police, threatens her, and forces her back inside. Hearing her screams, Huggins warns Terry that the gangster is dangerous. When Huggins calls Terry by name, Terry is shocked. Huggins tells him he's changed for the worse because of the company he keeps. Realizing they've been recognized, Terry and his friend panic. Huggins gives him a chance to leave, but Mary's friend refuses. He still wants the money. The thug ties Mary up and brings her to the basement. When Huggins won't give the code, the gangster orders Mary's friend to cut off Mrs. Huggins' finger. Terrified, he obeys, but Huggins remains silent. The men can't understand why Huggins is protecting the locker if it only contains money. Desperate, Mary's friend attacks the gangster, and a brutal fight breaks out. Terry refuses to intervene. The gangster stabs Mary's friend, leaving him badly injured. Furious, he demands the code again, and Mrs. Huggins gives him a fake one. When the locker doesn't open, the gangster tries to kill her, but Mary hits him in the head with a hammer, killing him instantly. Mary begs Huggins to save her injured friend, and he reluctantly agrees. He removes the blade and tells them to wait for an ambulance. But when Mary checks on her friend again, she finds her dead. Suspicious, she realizes Huggins is lying. The phone lines have been cut. Mary soon discovers Huggins and his wife aren't the victim she thought. They're deranged. Mrs. Huggins slaps and berates Mary, calling her by their dead daughter's name. Huggins explains his wife has amnesia, but the truth is darker. He shows Mary a notebook filled with photos of missing girls, including her own sister. When Mary demands to leave, Huggins locks her in a cupboard. His wife insists they punish her. Terry, drugged by an injection from Mrs. Huggins, can barely move. Mary tricks Huggins into letting her out and tries to escape, but the couple releases gas into the house. She manages to grab Mrs. Huggins' mask and uses it to survive. Mary captures Mrs. Huggins and uses her as leverage, demanding Terry and the keys. Huggins agrees, but as they reach the garage, Huggins and his wife appear again. Terry suddenly turns on Mary and shoots her. It's revealed that Huggins had promised Terry he would let him meet Mary's missing sister in exchange for loyalty. The truth unfolds. After their daughter's death, Huggins and his wife began kidnapping and killing girls who resembled her. Mary's sister had been one of them. A week later, Terry's mother visits, looking for her son. Huggins and his wife deny seeing him, but we soon see them burying his body. Terry had become their final victim, and the horrifying truth is clear. The Huggins couple had lost their sanity long ago. Obsessed with their daughter's memory, they murdered countless innocent girls, including Mary's sister, and finally, Terry himself. The film closes on this grim revelation, leaving behind a chilling message about greed, guilt, and madness. That scene, the so-called locker mystery, turns out to be more than just about money. It's the key to exposing who the real villains are. Throughout The Owners, the characters believe Dr. Huggins is protecting cash or jewels. But when he refuses to give up the code, even under torture, it hints at what's inside isn't treasure at all. At the end, we learn that the Huggins couple are deranged killers who've been kidnapping and murdering young girls to replace their dead daughter. The locker, then, likely hides evidence of those crimes, photos, belongings, maybe even remains. That revelation makes the burglars' entire plan pointless, and it flips the movie on its head. The plot hole people talk about is how the burglars didn't notice all the warning signs. The preserved child's room, the strange behavior, the cut phone lines. It's as if the story collapses under its own logic, but in truth, it shows how greed blinded everyone to the horror right in front of them. That's why the scene broke the internet, because it redefines the movie from a simple home invasion story into a twisted psychological trap. Agree? Disagree? Watch it again, and let's start a comment civil war. And if you're obsessed with hidden movie secrets, smash that bell. Our next video might ruin your childhood.